I want them to literally hear the words that are coming out of my mouth and be the example of how I want them to be to me.
It's the conversation of we need to listen to both sides because obviously he was ridiculous, but I almost wanted him to keep talking so that he could hear how ridiculous
He's not going to hear how ridiculous
But here's the best thing. Adrian,
He's been saying it all the time.
Okay,
That's how he said it so calmly. He said it so openly and freely because he doesn't think there's anything wrong with what he
after
said.
all of this and these conversations and even his son saying that, do you think he'll even question, maybe not publicly,
He'll probably
because
take
you
his
haven't
son
been
to a
wrong
different
publicly, and in private you'd be like, but damn, maybe I was wrong. That's what I'm
You know
praying
why?
for.
I think
because he's in an
people-
America that tells him that he's not wrong for saying it.
Yes, I think he
is
said
the
that
problem.
because he thought more people in that room would be on his side.
Correct.
He thought
And
Benny
then
was
once
turning
he
around
said
with a high
that,
five.
there was like silence, and he was like, "Oh, you remember they were giving him the mic?
Yeah.
And, you know, you want to say something?"
He
was
didn't
like,
really
"No, no,
want
no,
it."
no,
But that's
no,
why
no.
it's important, like Adrian said, watch the video. Because when you watch the video, you actually see the stages he goes through in realizing what he said. If he even did realize. Literally after he
tried
said
to
it,
back away
he literally
slightly.
threw up his
He
hands like
realized
this,
he was alone.
What? And then afterwards he was like, I said it, aren't you all thinking it?
Yeah.
And then he regresses to like, oh, okay, so you mad? What did I do? And he gets into like a defiance.
Victimization.
And I want to say this, what the black man said, he said that's indicative of what our kids are experiencing. I want to
Yes.
go even further to say that's indicative of what he teaches his kids at home.
That's what I'm
Because
saying.
racism is learned.
It's taught.
It's learned.
actually taught.
Yeah,
so
but it's
that
not
kind of thing
just
is
taught by
perpetuated.
parents.
The conversation could have went another way where you questioned him more and say, why are you saying
Yes,
that?
yes.
And allow
I would've
him
done that.
to get his
That's what I'm saying.
opinion out. And then that's when you have a conversation.
Yes.
But just by saying you wrong, then that cuts it off. And that's what I mean by, to me, de-escalating.
Yes.
In certain situations. That's the type of situation where they had the time where they could have actually talked to him and said, why are you saying that?
Nah, they
You
need
know?
to do that on somebody else's time. I'm not. I'm not sitting there listening to that exchange
No, but
of
some
like, why are
people
you
need
racist?
to. No,
like that's
it's
why
not.
there needs to be spaces.
He may not think what he's saying is racist. That's
Right,
what I'm saying.
right.
We
And-
have to talk to each other.
And it's nuts. I'm agreeing
You have
with Amanda
to.
in the sense that it's nuts that people don't think they're racist, but how do we fix it? At some point, there has
That's
to be
what
a
I'm saying.
conversation.
Look, we have to
definition of
show
ignorance.
attempt
We
to
have been
have.
having these conversations
I know.
forever.
I know. What do you suggest?
Forever.
But here's
Not
the
forever.
solution.
but not on
suggest?
television.
Here's the
No,
thing,
but
though.
they're not on television.
Not
but
like
forever.
this.
No, I'm saying that these conversations about what is racism, like folks know exactly what racism is. They know that they are being discriminatory. For this man to say that out loud, why don't you go back to Mexico? He fully knows that he's othering this other person.
He's surrounded
hear
by
that.
people
Why?
that think like
The
him. He
same
was probably
way.
raised by
Why?
people that think like him. So what do you think is the solution? What do you think should be
That
done?
the people in the room who look like him, the same way that Joaquin Phoenix said, like, this ain't their problem, this is our problem, they need to have that discussion.
And I
that's
agree
the
with you with
discussion.
that.
That's why,
Amanda, you
that's
need
why
to
I'm
have
saying
that.
Daryl is there. If I was Daryl, I'd be like, y'all got this? Because I got to go talk to my
Okay, and
son.
that's okay. No, that's
That's
okay.
what I'm saying.
Everybody
I agree with
expresses
that.
emotion differently.
That's what I'm saying.
But the reason why we have this show, the reason why we curate these
Exactly.
topics, you guys, is because we don't want you to segregate yourself. We don't want you to oppose the other. We want you to come together as the damn community we're supposed to be. The government's not doing it for us. So come together,
No.
have the discussion. If someone says something, ridiculous, that makes you want to, like, literally say stop. Where is this coming from?
burden, the emotional burden on people of color to constantly have
The
to...
white person can ask it, though.
The
Sure.
emotional burden
Ally
on people
each
of
other.
color
Somebody get
to
the conversation
constantly have
out.
to create space.